Welcome back to AMO Stock Picks. I'm Matt Pickle Rick, and tonight for you I have ticker symbol EVFM. This is EVFM Biosciences. What type of shareholders make up EVFM Biosciences share registry? A look at the shareholders of EVFM can tell us which group is most powerful. Institutions often hold shares in more established companies. While it's not unusual to see insiders own a fair bit of smaller companies, we also tend to see lower insider ownership in companies that were previously publicly owned. EVFM is not a large company by global standards. It has a market capitalization of 190 million, which means it wouldn't have the attention of many institutional investors. We can see that institutionals own the shares in this company in the chart above. EVFM already has institutions on the share registry. Indeed, they own a respectable stake in the company. This implies the analysts working for those institutions have looked at the stock and they like it. But just like anyone else, they could be wrong. It is not uncommon to see a big share price drop if two large institutional investors try to sell out of a stock at the same time. So it is worth checking the past earnings trajectory of EVFM. Of course, keep in mind there are often other factors considered too, such as them dropping an offering at a really bad time, right after earnings. So anyway, we note that hedge funds don't have a meaningful investment in EVFM. The company's largest shareholder is Invesco, with ownership of 16%, with 6.4% and 4.4% of the shares outstanding respectively. BlackRock and the Vanguard Group are the second and third largest shareholders. In addition, we found that Sandra Pelletier, the CEO, has 1.1% of the shares allocated to their name. A deeper look at our ownership data shows that the top 25 shareholders collectively hold less than half of the register, suggesting a large group of smallholders where no single shareholder has a majority. While it makes sense to study institutional ownership data for a company, it also makes sense to study any sentiments to know which way the wind is blowing. Quite a few analysts cover the stock, so you could look into forecast growth quite easily. Institutional ownership of EVFM. The definition of an insider can differ slightly between different countries, but members of the board of directors always count. Management ultimately answers to the board. However, it is not uncommon for managers to be executive board members, especially if a founder or the CEO. Institutional ownership is positive when it signals leadership are thinking that like the true owners of the company. However, high insider ownership can also give immersive power to a small group within the company. This can be negatively effective under those circumstances. I can report that insiders do own shares in EVFM. In their own names, insiders own $5.7 million worth of stock in the $190 million worth of shares in the company. Some would say that this shows alignment of interests between shareholders and the board, though I generally prefer to see bigger insider holdings, but it might be worth checking if those insiders have been selling. The general public, mostly retail investors, own 55% of EVFM. Though this level of ownership gives retail investors the power to sway key policy decisions such as board composition, executive compensation, and the dividend payout ratio. The next steps. While it is well worth considering the different groups that own a company, there are other factors that are even more important. For example, we've discovered 4 warning signs for EVFM. 3 shouldn't be ignored, that you should be aware of before investing here. But ultimately, it is the future, not the past, that will determine how well the owners of this business will do. Therefore, we think it is advisable to take a look at this free report showing whether analysts are predicting a brighter future. And I will show that to you in the link in the description. And lastly, this article by Simply Wall Street in general is general in nature. It doesn't constitute a recommendation to buy or sell any stock and does not take account of your objectives or your financial situations. We are aiming to bring you long-term focused analysis driven by fundamental data. Note that our analysis may not factor into the latest price-sensitive company announcements or qualitative material. Simply Wall Street has no position in any stock mentioned. So I will provide you guys with the links in the description, and I think I'll post the chart in there for you as well with the toots, but for the most part, that's about it. I'm excited for this week. SPY to, I don't know, let's see, 350s, and then right back up to 420. Let's go. Let's get it one day at a time. We never know when the crash is coming, so scared money don't make money, and I'll leave you with that. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Ammo out.